Does this look good? I don't have a lot of space in my room, not for filming. Okay. I think that's the best we're gonna get. Hi guys, my name is Catdhy, and welcome to a tour of my top 10 favorite houseplants at the moment. Of course, as a plant person, you have to say I love my plants all equally, but some of these plants are plants that I've gotten when I was just starting out collecting plants, and looking back, probably weren't a great fit for my room, my light levels, how much I water, which is usually too much. But most of these I've gotten more recently, and I've actually, put in the research and dedication into seeing what species I wanted. So yeah, I'm pretty attached to these guys. So coming in at number 10 is my monstera peru. This guy I got at Williams Nursery in Westfield, New Jersey. He came in as part of a big shipment of pretty rare plants into the nursery, so I picked him up, and I love him because of this dark green color. I like the, chartreuse lemon lime color, but this color for some reason really spoke to me. And the texture of the leaves, they sort of look like dragon scale to me. I know there's a dragon scale alocasia, but this guy reminded me of that. And I picked this plant out of the other ones there because he was ready on a stake. I need to find a bigger moss pole or stake or something to tie this up because it's already growing out of it. So far it's been a pretty easy care plant, and these leaves have gotten huge. This is number 9. This is Miranda, my prayer plant, or my red maranta plant, which is where the name came from. This plant was a plant that I got when I didn't know anything about plants. I just saw the leaves and I was like, I think I need to have it. So I came back home, tried to figure out how to take care of it, and this has been very tolerant to me learning how to take care of plants. It really doesn't require that much humidity. Now that it's the winter time, my room probably stays around 35–40% most of the time, which isn't great for most of my plants, but she's been doing so well, pushing out a lot of new growth, and she's probably doubled in size since the summer. After Miranda, I got a few more calatheas that were a lot more finicky. I think I've killed 2 at this point. Rest in peace. But she has always stuck by me. She's also beginning to vine out, which is very exciting, and I want a big sprawling Miranda plant. Coming in at number 8 is going to be one of my jewel orchids. This is hold on. And we're back. So number 8 is my fungus nut. Number 8 is my macodes petola jewel orchid, also known as lightning leaves. This plant is probably one of the most impressive looking plants that I have. Whenever I post this on my Instagram story, usually someone asks me what kind of plant this is, where they can get it, and even though it's small, it packs a punch. Since I've gotten it, it's put out 2 new leaves, I think, and it dropped one of its older leaves. And it isn't too picky about humidity, but the glitter on its leaves, well, what looks like glitter, it looks like magic. In like fairy tales, when someone's given a magic bean, this is the plant that I imagine grows out of that. Number 7, I gotta reach back here for. This is my pink rubber tree, or variegated rubber tree. I think something happened to it when I first moved it to its new spot. It really wasn't pushing out a lot of leaves for a little while. Its leaves all went sort of vertical, worried about it for a little bit, but it's bounced back. And it's pushing out this adorable new leaf over here. I'm not that into, the bright pink, hot pink plants like the aglaonemas, but I do like this sort of painted vibe, the pastel pink. I'm a huge fan of. And the older leaves have sort of turned into this cream pinkish color, which I also like. I love how sculptural this plant is, and how sort of tall and wide it is. I do like small intricate plants, but I also appreciate a good structural plant that can draw your eye upward, and sort of act like the big tree in the little canopy that is my room. Number 6 is also a pattern plant. This is probably the most obvious pattern plant when you think of a pattern plant. It's my begonia maculata. This is a new leaf that's matured out. These are a few new leaves that are still maturing and it's still growing. I really like the color distinction too between the back and the front of the leaves, and the polka dots, you really can't get them anywhere else. I really like that this guy also isn't too dramatic about humidity. It sits with a few other plants, so hopefully that'll help mitigate it, but humidity in here hasn't reached 50 in a little bit, but I'm still doing okay. So I very much appreciate it. Coming in at number 5 is my only string of blank plant that got into this list. And that is my string of turtles. I struggle with string of plants because I'm a dramatic overwaterer. Not dramatic, I'm a qualified overwaterer, let's say. Every plant that I've killed, it's always been through root rot or overwatering. So by learning to treat these more as succulents, I've had better luck with them. But this guy, I really didn't think was going to make it. In shipping, it came and looked like a bomb had gone off. Its roots were everywhere, so I had to replant it immediately, which I know isn't great. But then it just started pushing out so much new growth, and I can tell it's new growth because they have a lot darker markings than what was originally there. And of course, this is another pattern plant, so I'm always gonna have a soft spot for those. Claiming the 4th spot on my list is my philodendron micans. I have 2 of these currently. One of them is, my collar. One of them is for my friend, which I'm looking after her plant until she gets back from winter break. I actually bought her that plant for her birthday because I love these guys so much. The texture of the leaves, I love feeling it. It feels like velvet, especially the new leaves. Also grown incredibly since I've had it. I have pretty good luck with philodendron, mostly because they like being moist, and this guy I have had especially good luck with. The leaves also change color as they mature, but it's a little bit more of a different color palette because it comes in this sort of reddish brown color and then matures to the dark green. I think this is pretty comparable to the lemon lime philodendron in terms of form and the shape of the leaves, except this guy got onto the list because of its texture. 3rd place is my philodendron brandy. Let me grab it. So this is my philodendron brandy. This is also from Williams Nursery, and this is probably the rarest philodendron that I have. Love the patterns on its leaves, and I was pretty surprised when I first got this plant because the texture wasn't what I was expecting. I was expecting a thicker leaf like a Scindapsus, but it really isn't. The color I also really love. The silvery, bluish, greenish color is right up my alley. It's been really easy care too. It hasn't been picky about humidity, which I think none of my plants could be at this point. Maybe the calatheas still are. And it's been a really quick grower. It's put out 3-4 new leaves, maybe a month and a half. Coming in at number 2 is my rickrack cactus. This guy, I think everybody who loves the hanging plant aesthetic, wants something super long and trailing, should invest in an epiphytic cactus of some sort. This happens to be what was at Williams when I got it, and I think it's so cool because it has a few new growth points, and the growth points have roots on them, which I didn't know that that's how they grew. I think they fall off eventually. I was looking at the older leaves, they don't have them anymore. But yeah, this guy really grows like crazy. It doesn't need a lot of sun, it likes to be moist, but the form of it is so beautiful. I love how structured it is, and you can also wave the tendrils around, you can reposition them if you wanted to, which I've pushed them all to this side to create like a really long, beautiful hanging look. And I really love how geometric the leaves are and how they're, you know, slightly offset from each other, but they're in a pattern. And I think I really like this sort of pattern as well, which isn't exactly on the leaf, but it is the leaf. I think the big theme here is patterns. Finally, we have number 1, which is my big philodendron birkin. I really love the size of this plant, which I got online, I think from American Plants on Etsy. And I really liked the gradient on this plant especially. So it goes from, you know, solid green, and then every leaf afterwards just gets a little bit whiter, and it's actually finally putting out its first almost completely white leaf. I love how sculptural it is, and of course it has patterns on it. These stark, you know, almost white lines with the dark green I think is so beautiful. I'm hoping mine doesn't revert for a little bit. I know that's wishful thinking, but I want him to stay like this for at least a while because I really enjoy him like this. So this right now is my number 1 favorite plant. Thank you guys for watching, and thank you especially to anybody who watched my plant tour, which was my first video, and left nice comments. They were so nice to read, and honestly really encouraging because I was really nervous to put myself out there like that. But I really love the plant community for being so inviting and so welcome, and letting each other have mistakes, basically. I also have a plant Instagram where I take pictures of a few of my plants. So if you're into that, the handle is greenbeaniebabies. And you'll probably see most of these guys on there eventually. I will see you next time. So awkward. Thumbs up, peace sign, finger guns. See you guys next time.